On November 27th, 2010, my 54-year-old grandfather passed from depression.
I know you love Greddels very, very much, but unfortunately he passed away. Were the words I told Mercedes.
When I found out, I cried, as all other 6-year-olds would, but for me being 6, depression was just another word. I didn't understand, what is depression?
Just to explain a bit about the depression, what my late husband had, he just couldn't be bothered doing anything. He just wanted to sit in his chair all day. He lost interest in everything, in work, in his family, in food. He used to smoke. He didn't want to smoke anymore. That was a good thing, of course. And just feeling very down and lost.
Before we found out that Graham had passed, he was titled as missing. And I remember standing in the living room with my grandma, and I said to her, when he walks in the door, I'm going to give him a big hug. And I never got to give him that hug, but that's not the point. The point is that I still had hope, because in my mind everything was great. Weekends at the farm could never be better. However, I did notice one thing when I went to the farm, and that was that my granddad never moved. He'd always lie on what we called the blue couch. But little 6-year-old me thought that was kind of cool, He never moves. Little 6-year-old me noticed that he never moved. He was so sad that he just never moved. And with my little 6-year-old head, I never thought that anyone would take their own life because they were so sad. Because I was a happy child and I enjoyed school, but as I grew up, I realized that people around me were sad. I realized that there is fighting in this world. I realized that people were mean. I realized you had to make decisions, and as I grew up, I realized why people were sad. In 2010, 17 males passed from depression. But I could say depression or suicide. But most people that commit or attempt to commit suicide don't really want their life to end. They just want the pain and suffering to be over. But the internet has another alternative. They say eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, taking time out for fun is another way to prevent depression. But depression is a disorder. It's not just something you can jog it out with, not something you can laugh at with family or friends. It's not something you can just, think you're going to eat healthy and it'll go away. Depression is a disorder. There is this social stigma around depression that says, if you've got it, it's your fault. Society blames the person instead of the disorder. People hide their depression because they feel like they'll be a burden to their family and friends. People hide their depression because to them it's less painful keeping it to themselves than it is talking to other people about it. People hide their depression because they feel like people will look at them as a weak figure. People with mental disorders believe that nobody is going to understand their problem. And in some ways this is true, and in other ways this is utter rubbish. People understand your problem. Psychotherapists know how to cure your problem. So why then, in 2010, did 17 males pass from depression? You tell me.
I'd just like to say how special he was and all the great memories. And